Good evening. Want to welcome to the Wendell Ellamy and James Show. Tonight's guest we have Ray, a friend of mine, coming on the show. I want to bring him on. He's a lifetime prisoner. He just came home from prison, so he's an ex-lifer. We want to welcome him to the show uh, tonight. Ray, how you doing?
Okay,
Good,
Wendell.
good to have you on the show, man.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Right. How long did you do, Ray?
Yeah, I did 35 total.
35 years
Yeah.
total. Yeah. What's your crime and what's your judgment?
Uh, I was found, they sentenced me to second degree PC 187,
Hmm.
15 to life.
Okay. You did 15. You got sentenced to 15 years of life. But what was your actual time that you did?
Oh, yeah, I did 35 years total.
35 years total. Uh, Going into the system, you must have been a young man.
Yeah, I
Into the
must have
system.
been about 28 years old.
28 years old.
Yeah.
Wow. And let me ask you a question I like to ask everybody that's come on to the show. You went into prison as a young man.
Yeah.
Okay. How long after you could start doing your time did you realize that you had to do something different with your life?
I believe I was like about 15 years into my term.
It was 15 years into your term
Yeah,
before you realized that you
yeah,
had to do something different.
yeah. I just, I just didn't really focus. I didn't really concentrate. I didn't really want to help myself,
Okay. Okay.
and I got tired, doing time. Uh, you lose your freedom, and there's so much politics. And you can get lost. You want to become like them, and you have to think it over, real carefully, because I wanted to be found suitable. I wanted to do the right thing.
You wanted to come home.
Yeah, I wanted to
You
come
wanted
home.
to come home. When you went to prison, how many prisons were there? It wasn't as many prisons as there are now.
One commissioner was surprised, and one of her questions was, "You did all your time in Soledad?" And I told her, "Yes, I did." And a lot of times, some riots broke out, and back then I played a lot of handball, so uh, I was fortunate, that I didn't get picked. Most of the time, I was always around the handball court.
You mentioned the word pit. What do you mean by pit?
Well, there's a perimeter, when something seriously happens, when a riot breaks out, where they start sticking each other in the yard. They freeze everybody. The gunshots they shoot into the yard, and then they call out to mix everybody down, and then you face down, you don't move, and then you got a special unit that comes in, and with face masks and tear gas, and it's squad. There's a lot of correctional officers. They want to secure the area because they want to get to the bottom of it. They want to find out exactly what happened. So anyway, everybody's down, and all the officers are requesting for your identification. So nobody moves. Finally, after it's all secured and everybody, then gradually they start calling the yard by wings at a time, and you single file, you walk up to where you live, and you strip down. You know, they take your clothes, they look through your clothes.
What you mean you strip down on your yard?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got officers standing in all in a row, and you each officer, you know, is searching you. You know, you shake your ears, your hair. You raise your hands. You turn around. You cough. You lift your testicles. You know, you're naked. You know what I mean? And they go through your clothes.
So let me ask you this: you spend 35 years in prison.
Yeah. So
Okay, and most of your time you spend inside that.
I did.
All
I did.
your time. 35 years in.
30. I did 32 in Solid State Prison.
You did 32 years
Yeah,
in Solid State
yeah,
prison.
just Solid State Prison. Then I did the rest of it. I did fighting through the court system.
So when you came to prison, there was just 12 prisons, I believe, when you came to prison.
There was one.
12 prisons.
I'm not sure.
I think it was 12. You've been, you said 30, 32, 35 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you came to prison, it was called the Big 12.
Oh, okay.
So it was 12 prisons when
Yeah.
you first came to prison. Right now, they've got 30, 34, 33 prisons right now.
Yeah.
So in the year that you was incarcerated, they built a number of prisons
Yeah, they
after
built
you
more.
came to prison. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a total of 30, 33 or 34 prisons right now.
Yeah.
So you was in prison for a long period of time for them to construct all these prisons over the 35 years that you was incarcerated. So when you did your change, so to speak, when you changed from who you were to who you are now in prison, what kind of programs did you have to do, have to take, what kind of program did you have to commit yourself to in order to get out of prisons?
I didn't have to. You know, I knew that I needed to. You know, if I wanted to be found suitable, they have a lot of self-help programs like, you know, alternative violence, AA, NA. So I participated in them, you know, and it's I needed a program. I had to prove something to myself, not prove nothing to them. Prove it to myself.
So in other words, you had to change. You knew you had to change from who you were
Yes.
when you came to prison
Yeah.
to who you are now
Yeah.
to get out of prison. So you had to show the Board of Prison terms that you were a complete different person opposed to who you came into prison 35 years ago,
Yeah.
opposed to who you are 35 years later.
Yeah.
That's what you had to say. You had to show the Board of Prison terms. Then let me ask you another question. How many times did you have to appear in front of the Board of Prison terms?
My final was my 14th time. that I had been-
14 times.
Yeah,
before
I
you were
finally
suitable.
I finally got found suitable.
And what do you think that kept you from being found suitable?
It was me. It was pretty much me. I was in denial. I kind of like gave up, man. Like just if you follow what I mean by that, it's like I really didn't. I just kind of like didn't want. I found it so comforting, you know what I mean? Like I get 3 meals, I get a shower, I get food. I don't have to pay no rent, light, gas, water.
So over a period of time, what happened to you is that you got institutionalized and you got content
Yeah,
with where you were.
right.
So in other words, you was all right
Yeah,
with doing prison time. You had 3 hot meals. You know, they took care of your laundry. They
Yeah.
made sure that everything was okay. You had top security.
yeah,
You know, around you. So you was safe. You was in a place where you were safe. So over a period of time going into the system, people have to realize that we go into a world inside of a world because we leave this world, right? And we go into another world, which is Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation now. And they have everything inside the system, CDCR, that they have in society. You know, they got the Safeway, you know, which is the canteen. Right, they have the trust office, which is Bank of America for us. Right, they got the Chow Hall, which is Denny's, Red Lobster. You know, we can call it that. They have the yard, which is Golden Gate Park. You know, so
Yeah.
they have everything in the system. So we get kind of like lax with that. So we say, well, we just kick back. You know, we just leave from one environment to another environment, and we become complacent with it. So we start living the life as they want us to live, changing the way that we thinking. So at some time in your life in prison, it came to you that wait a minute, this is not where I'm supposed to be. Let me start working to get myself out of this madness that I got myself in. And you started working on that to come back to this society. So when did that happen?
Mm, I'd say when I was right around in my 15th year, I well my well you know, my wife was still alive, so she encouraged me also, you know, and that helped. Uh, she she uh, she still believed in me. She still wanted me back. So
She wanted her husband home.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what it was. She wanted her husband home.
yeah. I did something right, you know, that because she moved from where I lived. She moved all the way to Santa Maria. She was living in Southern California. I was living in Redlands, California at the time, and so she moved to Santa Maria. And so she was a little closer, so she would come to see me. She'd bring the kids. And back then, we used to have, what is it, connective family visits?
Family
Yeah,
visit,
until they
family
finally
visit.
took them away. I forget what year it was, but
I believe it was in 1995,
yeah.
94, somewhere around there.
So she'd come to see me, you know, and she'd bring the children, and that that it really meant a lot to me, you know. I kept I hope, you know, I struggled, you know,
They
because
kept your hope alive.
yeah, I kept my
Yeah,
hope alive,
kept
you
hope
know,
alive. Yeah.
and she believed in me, you know. She knew me, you know. So that helped me really. It helped me a lot. So that she lifted me. She encouraged me, you know. And then I kept going. I kept trying, you know. I could have get caught. Could have got caught up in politics like a lot of other guys do, you know. You do the wrong thing, you know. You hook up with a gang, you know what I mean, and you start doing what they want you to do. You know, it has it has an influence on certain people, you know, in its own way to whoever it may be. You know, it's like who you associate with. You know, it has an effect. So I struggled. You know, I got confronted a lot of times randomly. You know, why aren't you conforming? I was afraid. You know, I'll be honest. You know, like I was told, you're going against the grain. You know.
You said you're going against the grain.
Yeah, like I wasn't going with the flow. I wasn't like cooperating, you know, and I wasn't sure I was gonna make it out, because there's a lot of stress on a lot of guys, and it affect, like I said, it affects everybody differently, you know. In each level that you're in, you know, I mean, because you know you start off from a 4 and you work your way to 3, a 2, you know, and you never get to a 1. But you know, you're always going to have guys that are in the system that, you know, I'll approach you, you know, and speak to you in their own way, and you know, and I was able to read between the lines. I know what they meant by it, and I told them, well, I didn't come in here with a wing number. I came in here with my number. If I get caught up in something, I'm gonna handle it on my own. I really don't want anybody to get involved because I know that once you allow them to help you, you know what I mean. Then now
You're in debt, so to speak.
yeah, yeah.
In
Now I
debt, so
owe
to
'em,
speak.
you
Right,
know.
right. You when you came into the prison, you were how old were you when you came into prison?
I was like about 28.
And when you got released, how old are you now?
I'm 67.
67. So 30 for 35 years, you spend a pretty large sum of your life in prison.
Yeah,
You have grandchildren, you have
yeah,
grown children
yeah,
now, and you coming home to this world, so to speak, coming back to this world. You are to the point now where your family wants to be part of your life. You want to be part of your family's life. You want to be able to be grandfather, papa, or whatever
yeah,
to your grandchildren, and a father somewhat to your children. You know, you and I was talking on the way here
yeah,
to the stadium, to the station, and we was talking about how we don't have a whole lot of time left.
yeah. Right.
We got a short period of time
Sure.
left because we're up in age now.
Right.
So now we have to give to our children and to our grandchildren something that wasn't given to us, and we got to give them a responsibility. We got to give them a structure because we don't want what happened to us to happen to our grandchildren. Wind up in the system, or the last system, because once you get in the system, it's not guaranteed that you ever make it back.
Right.
And we know this oh so well. We know this. So we want to try to give our grandchildren and our children something other than a prison yard or being under the fist of someone else in a system. So to tell society, your feeling of your crime when you went to prison, opposed to your feeling of your crime now that you're home. You feel one way going into the system, and you feel a certain way you're going to come out of the system now because being out now, we're going to have to make amends for the rest of our life. Something happened that we can't change.
Yeah,
It happened, right? But going into the system, you was a young man,
yeah,
right? We want to give the community a sense of how you feel then,
yeah. And how I feel now.
opposed to how you feel now about your crime that you committed 35 years ago.
Sure, I'll wait till. I'll try to squeeze this in, and condense it to as much as I can. It's like, I come from a broken family, and I understand now I was a byproduct of my environment. And because when two parents are broken up and there's really no one there, I wandered. I started out pretty young, drinking alcohol, running the streets, hanging around with the guys. Anyway, being young, I suppress. I come to realize that I suppressed a lot of emotions, and I drank. I had a problem. I didn't know it. Because I isolated myself, I come to realize that. I did some research, and I come to realize that I was insecure, all along in my life. I was living in fear, and then suddenly when I become an adolescent, it turned into anger, and I still all along I was isolating myself. I was rejecting. My family that were reaching out to me, I didn't want. I was selfish. I was self-centered. Because when you don't have parents that to raise you proper, and to explain to you what's right and what's wrong, it's. See, I wandered. I wandered the streets. I liked drinking. I didn't accept responsibility, And then at the end, I come to realize I was my own worst enemy. Anyway, now going forward, fast forward here, I was struggling. I had 7 children, 2 from my first wife and 5 from my second. My first one was common. My second one I married anyway, so. you know, I got, you know, I have a big family. I'm working. I'm a welder. You know, paying bills like gas, water, insurance, clothes for the kids. You know, I was struggling. So I was doing the best I could, but I kept drinking. You know, come to realize that I was trying to drown my own uh, fear. I had suppressed all along. So you know, it happens. You know, I was still living a criminal lifestyle. You know, I wasn't accepting reality. You know, and we all come from, we all live some way somehow. We all live a criminal lifestyle. And mine in particular was that I liked drinking. So to sum it all up, it just happened suddenly one evening. We turned into an argument. I never really know the person, the victim, personally, and it turned into an argument. I didn't know what it was all about, and we turned into an argument, and we got in a fight. I hit him in the temple, and it caused a hemorrhage, and he died an hour later. You know, I didn't really feel want to take his life. That was the last thing I wanted to do. But now I come to realize that I held a lot inside of me. You know, now you know I was speaking to somebody the other day. We have more programs out in this in society now that are reaching out to help help us. You know, and now I now realize that I need. What's important for me now is is for me to give back. Just because some way somehow I believe that it's the right thing to do. You know, I may not be able to help everybody, but I know some way somehow I will help somebody. You know, and anyway, I'm really grateful for. You know, there's a lot of programs out right now that, you know, for you know, there's a lot of opportunities now that are reaching out to help us. You know, that came back from a broken family, and I think, you know, we could prevent these you know, we can help the younger generation that are coming up, and that's what I'm and that's what I feel inside me. That's what I want to give back now. Uh, you know, right now where I'm at right now in this program, in these self-help programs that I'm in, you know, I'm transparent. You know, I share. I want to give back. I know that some way somehow, like I said, it will help. Yeah,
So you believe that right now, in the time of your incarceration, you've learned enough to come back into this society and to be able to give to the younger generation and keep them from running astray, opposed to how you ran astray and wind up in a cesspool, so to speak, that you couldn't get out for 35 years.
Yeah.
You have a chance now at doing that, helping somebody not fall in the same pool that you fell in,
Yeah.
to stay straight and live a productive life while they're here in society. Because, you know, I tell people all the time, you know, trouble is real easy to get into, but it's hard to get out.
Yeah.
Once you get into it, it's hard to get out. You got to dig your way and dig your way. Sometimes you dig in the same hole, and you can't never get out.
Right.
So people don't understand that Department of Corrections, they have a thing that when you go in, sometimes the door closes and you never come out.
Right.
You know, I tell youngsters all the time that Department of Corrections give you a life sentence, and they give you 25 years of life, you get 15 years of life. You know, now they're giving you 100 years of life, 300 years of life, 200 years of life, and they're getting a lock on it, because once you go in, they say the motel say the light stays on, the light goes off now. You don't come back out. You know, so we try to give what we've learned over the years to the younger generation, that they won't fall into the same pit hole that we fell into and go in the system and not come out. So, you know, we appreciate you coming today. You know, we want to welcome you back to the world,
Yeah,
so
thank
to
you.
speak. Welcome back to society. You know, and we want to let the community know that you were found suitable for parole. You went in front of a board of prison terms. How many times? 16 times?
14 times.
14 times you went in front of the board of prison terms, and they found you suitable, and they allowed you to come back into society because they had faith in you. They have faith that you're going to come back into this world and be part of this society. And thus far, you've been doing pretty good. You know, we got a long ways to go.
Yeah.
It's a job.
Yeah.
You know, being able to come back into this world after leaving that world for so long, 35 years, to come back in this world and be part of it. So we just want society to know that you've done your time. You know, it's nothing that you can do about what happened. You can't bring the person back, but if you could, you would.
Yeah.
But you're here in this society. You was found suitable for parole by a board of prison terms. They signed the paperwork, they released you. You came back to the world. And when you came back, you went into the Walden House, I believe.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. How did that program work for you?
It's working real well for me. It's really helped me a lot. And what I want to say is, you know, I feel inside me that this is a proper thing for me to do. You know, to give back, help those who I can. In this world, everything deals with percentages. You know, and I don't know what percentage, but I know that I will be able to help some people.
Somebody.
Yeah, somebody.
Right. Yeah. Well, you're in the Walden House right now, and you know, it tell me that the Walden House is a good program, you know, for a person going to prison for a long period of time, coming home and having to transition back into society, because they allow you to get the things that you need to be part of this world again. Being able to ride the bus, go down and get GA, get your California ID, things that you need to be part of this world again.
Yeah.
So actually, Walden House is a good place for people doing long periods of time. They say it's a drug alcohol program, okay, but they have other things that can be used for a long time offender doing time, coming home, and you know, they're doing a wonderful job at assisting guys transit back into society. So, you know, we want to commend the Walden House as well.
Sure,
for the
yeah,
work that
yeah.
they're doing. You know, they're doing a wonderful job.
Yeah, they are doing
so
a great job.
They got some outstanding caseworkers there. We want to give them kudos for that.
Right,
You know, for the
right,
work that
yeah.
they're doing, and we commend them for the things that they're doing to assist us ex-lifers
Right.
coming back into society. So again, we want to thank you, Ray, for coming on to the show tonight.
Yeah,
You know, and we welcome you back to the world, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Wendell.
So thank you,
Mhm.
and hopefully we'll see later on in the months, in the years, to get an update on how you're doing, man.
Okay, sure.
So thank you for coming on the show.
Okay.
We appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.